It's been a spell, but the Freezie500 is back. Yet again, the best drivers spanning the cosmos have gathered together to pit their mettle against one another in an effort to be the one who raises the coveted chalice of Vergalsia. This time, 33 teams have prepared the fiercest muscle cars their worlds have to offer. The returning veterans will be eager to show the newcomers just how tough this race truly is, while those same rookies will be eager to prove they are no pushovers. The events of last year hang over the paddocks, while the drivers and teams ready themselves and their rides. One racer will ultimately emerge victorious, and some teams will succumb to the pressure. One, in the end, will be sacrificed to the racing gods. But before we get to that, let's take a look at the tournament rules for your Freezie500. Racers have been pre-screened, weighed, and randomly posted into groups. Each consists of 3 racers who will race 3 times down the hill, shifting positions for each race. Points are collected by crossing checkpoints along the course for a maximum of 10 points per race. An extra point will be awarded to the driver who crosses the 10-point line first. Drivers moving on to round 2 will be determined by a cut line based on the round 1 points accumulated. And in this race, every point counts, as your points will carry over to subsequent rounds. The winner will be the driver who accumulates the most points over all rounds of competition, while the driver with the lowest overall points after the opening round will have to wait and see who has the pleasure of delivering their fate. Those are the stakes. Now let's meet the drivers in Group 1 who have been put up for tribute. Wearing the number 999, the first tribute is Blazeman from Infernica. The Smoke Eaters are known for their shadow tactics and smoke and mirrors approach to racing. Sticking in the triple digits, Craigster Sr. returns from the Peanut Galaxy Station in an all-new, albeit slightly less expensive setup. He's hoping to spice things up in his ride dubbed Propane. And rounding out this opening group from the Ruckus Racing Tribe on Exhaust is Ricochet. Known for taking big risks, Ross is betting his high roller can go all out against the competition. These drivers will set the pace. All eyes are on Group 1. It's been another spin around the sun, and it's time to melt some ice. The Freezie500 starts right now. And how about them shadow tactics by Blazeman? You know the ones I talked about in his intro? Well, he put those to good use in lap 1 as he waits for Ricochet to take out Craigster Sr. at the jump. You can see the loose cannon and Ricochet take out Craigster Sr. and then Blazeman just kind of scoots on by, just giving a wave and a whistle. It's a good shunt by Ricochet on Craigster Sr., but unfortunately that takes Ricochet out as Craigster Sr.'s on his lid. Blazeman, on the other hand, just cruises on by and in for a full 11 points. He almost misses the finish line though, but the overhead cam does confirm that he does squeak out a bumper, whereas all the pressure is now on Craigster Sr. and Ricochet to keep pace with Blazeman. And a massive opportunity for Ricochet to open this thing up and keep pace with Blazeman has been thwarted. Craigster Sr. is throwing his race away by putting himself into the wall while trying to take out Blazeman. And you can see Ricochet, well, he can't handle the jump and gets it over and turtles just after he lands. Things just got interesting now because it all comes down to race number 3. Second time's a charm for Ricochet as he lands the jump and finishes off his lap with 11 points. Craigster Sr., on the other hand, does take another run at Blazeman and prevents him from scoring any more points by cutting him off just at the jump. But the man of the hour now is Ricochet in his high roller as he puts his stamp on the last race and collects 11 points. With the first scores posted, we now have a sense as to how these cars are going to handle the track. Ricochet tops the group with 22 points, but Craigster Sr. is going to be disappointed with that 14. It might only be the first group, but Craigster Sr. better hope someone else has a really bad day, or he's going to end up on the receiving end of an unpleasant finale. You will recognize this legendary racer's colors even before you hear his name. His success continues to enshrine him in diecast racing folklore, and there's no denying that fact. Sporting number 69, it's Arlo. Rumor has it that when Zarnock missed the cut last year, he went out and conquered the first planet he saw. The Butcher of the Crystal Caves is back, and this year, he's looking to add a trophy to his spoils of war. The top 9 placing of Sneaky Bob last year left him wanting more, and the Sons of Jupiter granted his wish to represent Ganymede in this year's tournament. His unobtainium is big and bold, just like the planet his moon orbits. Group 2 knows the score, but in this race, the only way to guarantee success is to collect as many points as possible, and the way you do that is by crossing the finish line. Group 2 starts right now. And that highlight is worth the price of admission alone. All 3 drivers get out of the gate well, but Arlo drifts into the guardrail and Zarnock helps him to get up and over that jump. Unfortunately, it's on his lid. Zarnock's not known for taking prisoners, and he definitely showed Arlo that that's his MO. That was a vicious hit by Zarnock, and that definitely knocked Arlo for a loop. Sneaky Bob, on the other hand, I guess was watching in his rearview mirror as he gets his unobtainium all sideways, but he still finds a way to get across the line. So does Zarnock, and they both bring back maximum points for lap 1. That's what you want to do in this race. You want to focus on taking out the good drivers while making sure you get yourself across the line. Call it karma, because the universe is full of it, but Zarnock just realized that he's got a race on his hands and he's got to pay attention to everything that he's doing. Sneaky Bob and Arlo joust at the jump, and it's actually a fantastic save by Arlo to keep his rig under him. Zarnock thinks he's got a clear break towards the finish line, but then can't handle the actual pond and spins out. You can see that Sneaky Bob here gets all sideways again, right in front of Arlo, and Arlo actually does a really good job at saving his race. And I can only assume that after Arlo and Sneaky Bob see Zarnock wiggle out, they make a break for the finish line to pull maximum points from this race as well. Zarnock ain't no sleeper, and all 3 drivers are still in this. Let's back up to the top of the hill for race 3. I guess Arlo had put a little bit of revenge in his coffee this morning as he takes out Sneaky Bob at the jump, allowing Zarnock a free run at the rest of the course. Arlo must not have liked the way that Sneaky Bob got in front of him in the last lap, but Arlo gets all wild and skids mostly sideways down the bottom half of the course. He corrects himself, and we're going to have to double check to see if he actually crosses the line, but it's Zarnock that does pull away and get maximum points for this lap. The overhead tells a story as Arlo crawls across the pond, and unfortunately when we zoom in, he is just shy of collecting that extra point. Looks like Zarnok's gonna take this group, while Arlo and Sneaky Bob tuck in behind him nicely in the overall points standings. The conqueror of the Crystal Caves came to race. What a run by all three of these drivers. In the end, only 5 points separated Zarnok from Arlo. Looks like that stolen tech Zarnok collected from his conquest paid off. Sneaky Bob did well to keep pace, and I wouldn't be surprised to see each one of these drivers make the cut for round 2. On the other end of the spectrum, Craigster Sr.'s only comfort is knowing there is a lot of racing left to come, and it only takes one lap to tip the scales of fortune in either direction. We've seen champions go pole to pole here, but will Craigster Sr. be the first unfortunate soul to run the table in last place? Tune in next time as we bring you groups 3, 4, and 5. You've been watching the Freezie500 live from Vergalsia. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
Hello, you've reached Morto High Council. How may I be of assistance?
Yes, I'm calling about this Morto beef fuel you gave me. It was supposed to give my car an extra 1,000 kilowatts a month, but all it gave me was a serious case of afterburn.
Morto B apologizes for your dissatisfaction. The only thing wrong with the fuel is inferior technology. Morto is not responsible or liable for any shortcomings brought on by using Morto fuel. A task force has been locked onto your location and will begin the termination process of said inferior technology momentarily. Thank you for choosing Morto as your fuel supplier. Have a nice day.
Wait, what? No, what do you mean a task force has been initiated?